Colonial School Board. I'd like to thank the organizers of today and all our students who are really teaching all of us the importance of standing up for what you believe in. We had about 1,400 kids participate in a walkout in our high school. That was about 70% of the high school, which was a phenomenal number. And nobody was disciplined for participating. I was in college when Columbine happened, and I remember being shocked by that event. And you would think that would have been enough, but since that time we've seen Sandy Hook, we've seen Las Vegas, we've seen Parkland, we've seen the daily gun violence that goes on the streets of our cities day in and day out. And unfortunately, despite the overwhelming numbers of Americans who support common sense measures, both Democrats and Republicans, our political leaders don't take any action. And it is past time that we talk about one of the major sources of the problem, which is guns. And too many members of Congress, too many people in our state legislature want to talk about anything else but guns. And clearly, guns do kill people.
Yes, they do.
My neighbor told me the other day that his second grade daughter came home and asked him what had happened in Florida. So even in our elementary schools, kids are talking about this, kids are worried about this, kids are scared about this. And as a parent, as someone who serves on a school board, that is the last thing that our kids and our families should be worried about. Our kids should be worried about getting an education, about preparing for their future, not about whether someone is going to come into their school with a gun and kill them. So thank you for standing up and saying enough is enough.
Hi, my name's Bunny. I grew up in Norristown. I'm so grateful for this walk. I live in Colonial School District also, and I'm here as a wife, as a mama, as a mother. My husband was a school teacher there. I have a daughter who's an administrator, a son who's a teacher there now, and I have 6 grandbabies who will go through the districts. And I'm afraid for all of them, especially when I hear that people are talking about giving teachers guns. More guns in schools? I think no, it can't be safe. I don't want my little babies to go to school when the teacher has a gun for anybody else to grab. I'm very passionate about this. I'm just not a speaker, and I'm here with you in full force. Thank you, Norristown.
Good morning. My name is Liz Brunton, and I live in the borough. And I thank you all for coming out today. I'm amazed at the turnout and so heartened with the spirit and the action that I see here today. I served on the board of Pennsylvanians Organized to Witness, Empower, and Rebuild, and this is organizing. This is organizing. You are doing it, and I'm so proud of you. I wanted to talk about an elephant in the room real quick. There's an African saying, I'm going to murder what country it's from, so I'm not going to say it, but it's an African saying called Sawubona, which means I see you. I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, Sawubona, I see you. Ready? Go. Sawubona. I see you. I see you.
I see you.
One of the things that came out of the movement since Florida, since Valentine's Day, is, these kids should, step up instead of walking out. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But here's the thing. There is something in the way of looking at someone and saying Sawubona. That thing is a gun. A gun allows a mask upon you that you don't see your neighbor. You don't see the person standing right in front of you. Please keep that in mind as you move forward through your day, through your week, through your month, through your year, through this long marathon that our brother talked about. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We need to see each other. We need to recognize each other. and not let the wall of a stupid weapon be in our way of building brotherhood and sisterhood and moving forward into this democracy with the power that we wield because of the Constitution. Our constitutional right to walk shall not be infringed, and neither will that right of our students be infringed. So keep that in mind. Sawabona, I love you all.
Hi, I'm Lee Bestor. I'm a retired librarian, and every time I hear about one of these mass shootings, I can picture where I worked for 40 years and all these little kids, and I can just see this shooter coming down the hall, and I can see the whole scene. It just breaks my heart. So I've tried to get involved, and
sorry.
It's okay. So one of the things that I have found that was very helpful, a tip that I'd like to pass on, is when all this started, when Trump got elected, frankly, I hardly knew who my representatives were, and I never had called any one of them. So I made it a point to join a local Democratic Party and the local Indivisibles, and I found out who my representatives were, both state and federal, and I put them on speed dial in my phone. And I keep up with what's going on through these other contacts, and whenever something pleases me, I try to call and be congratulatory, which takes about a minute, and when something displeases me, I call and make noise. People know me by name, and I feel like I'm doing something, so I hope you will consider doing that because it's helping me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jerome Campbell. I'm a senior at Norristown Area High School right behind us. Whenever this issue comes up to me, it's not about just gun control and restrictions and how and who can purchase and obtain guns. It's also about mental health care reform.
Yes.
When I hear about
I was waiting for that.
when I hear about these mass shootings, I look at the information, I research these things, the facts about these situations. I see that even though these people were troubled and took out their anger on people using guns, weapons of destruction, they also might have suffered from situations in our society, either bullying and other mental diseases and issues brought on because of their either genetics or lack of treatment or healthcare in our system. And that is something that really concerns me, that the cost of mental health care is very expensive, and the state of it is declining in our country, and it's a serious problem in regards to how we treat it and like how people are suffering from it. It's to see that America in all this wealth, from an immigrant from Jamaica, I am just seeing all this wealth. I'd expect that America would have better standards for improving this and treating their citizens. But this is extremely sad to see this happening. But for me, when I come here and do things in regards to them, I'm not trying to push an agenda. I don't have any problem with someone owning the right to have a gun. I'm concerned that people take advantage of that action and use it to bring harm and suffering upon other people. This is just to push for stronger background checks and protections, especially for young people who might use this to take advantage of this to inflict harm on their fellow students. We're not pushing an agenda. We're not trying to take away anyone's right or anyone's property. We're just trying to make sure society is safer and protective.
Healthy.
Yes. It's terrifying to see like students worrying about coming to school and fearing that something might happen to them, or any parents worrying that their child might not come home, or just people are just afraid to go out to malls, to movie theaters, to do anything in public because they're afraid that something might happen to them or their family. This is something that we need to act on and we need to work to change. So thank you for everyone being here and the organizers of here.